and welcome to Tech Talks, the People and Planet podcast. On this episode, I'm joined by founder of Lead My Care, Aaron Litherland. Aaron, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Lee?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. Thanks for joining us. Just been speaking to you then, and I think it's going to be a really interesting show, so thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
So to kick things off, give us a little bit of an overview of Lead My Care, the problem that you're trying to solve with the mission, and perhaps the inspiration behind it as well.
Yeah, so Lead My Care has really founded on health inequity and affordability of healthcare, and especially in the United States. But I think we have a big problem across the world when it comes to health inequity. So that's really been the inspiration behind it. Now, my background is as a nurse. So as a nurse, my goal has always been to help people. And so what I found is through technology, where I never thought I'd find myself, through technology, I have been able to reach more people. And that's something that is really rewarding as it relates to technology. So my background as a nurse has really been my inspiration, and seeing the health inequity across the continuum of care is just really something that I really want to fix.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. So tell us a little bit more about the product itself. What's the tech that's driving it? Yeah.
Right. So really the big thing that we're trying to do is create a health assistant that really helps the patient, kind of guide them through care. So in our phase one, people will say, oh, you got a chat bot, and we don't like to refer it as that there's a health assistant, and we only come from one source of truth. So trying to mitigate the risks of error as we keep going and searching through millions of references, we want to really provide the gold standard in education. And so we're not providing a service that tells you how to take care of your healthcare, but more to provide one source of truth. And when you go to Google, what we found in interviews is that people think, honestly, what I heard was, I'm going to die from a basic healthcare problem. So we're trying to solve that piece initially. And it's hard for people to understand where my mind will go on how you would solve health inequity. But look, step one is really educating people and getting them access first. Then we move forward into a more robust system.
Interesting. So, so instead of going to Google, I will, if I've got some sort of symptoms of some sort of illness, I will go to Lead My Care, and Lead My Care will effectively
we'll educate you, but we will always refer that you go to a medical provider for further assistance. Now, having that dialogue with the provider and being able to go in educated and being able to speak to your healthcare is really important, because we leave the doctor all the time not saying what we want to say, calling the doctor up, trying to find answers. Or you may leave your doctor and have a question, and a basic question, and you have to sit on hold, or you have to write in the portal. So our goal is like I said in phase one, to really provide that one source of truth of education.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how does this then, I guess, differ from other AI products out there then?
Well, a lot of the AI products out there are so general, and it searches so much, and I've seen so many errors when I ask questions. And not to say that we don't have a disclaimer stating that we can provide or it might have errors, because that's just AI in its current form, right? But where we differ is, as I've stated, we have one source of truth, and anybody that's in healthcare understands that it's important to have one source of truth that's evidence-based, that's at a 5th grade reading level. That's a standard in the United States. So that way we create that equity in making sure that it's digestible information. So that's where we're at right now, and you can go to leadmycare.com and try it out. Like I said, right now we're in beta phase, but I think we'll move fast.
Nice. I was going to say that was kind of my next question. You're about a year in. You say you're in beta. It's never plain sailing with a startup. What's been the challenges you've had to overcome so far, and the biggest takeaways?
Oh, technology's moved so fast in the past year, so you have to figure out when you're going to pivot, right? And if we always are pivoting, we're never getting anywhere. So we had to go back to the drawing board, as building from the ground up is just not feasible in this current climate. So why not leverage products that are already out there to help automate the process, move quickly, stay secure. And that's really where we've moved is, we started out from the ground up and we've decided, look, we're just never going to catch up if we don't do that, or if we don't go into the automation or go into the current products that are already out there to build upon. If you think about any successful products, they actually leverage other platforms, right?
Yeah.
So, people buy products and make them better. People use products and make them better. And there's no way that I'm going to go out to Chat GPT and not leverage the large language model. And, why would I build that? That's never going to happen.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not going to work. Right. So that's the thing. It's going so fast. That's the biggest thing. So that's our biggest challenge. And I've learned at some point you have to stop and you have to say, this is the path we're going. And I think we're on that path.
So am I right in thinking, and I've literally just thought about this now whilst we've been speaking, is your competition, is that Google?
Yeah. And it honestly is every AI assistant, right? At this moment, right? At this moment. And that's a big task. And people tell me all the time, do you know what you're taking on? Absolutely. I absolutely do. And I don't think Google or Amazon or other products that are big box products, right?
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think that they're going to be the leaders in the healthcare game. There has to be a new Google for healthcare. There is going to be a dominant force that comes into healthcare that I think will blow everyone out of the water. And I'm hoping that that is us. At one point there was no Google.
Yeah, sure.
Right. And that blew everything out of the water. But at some point we have to move past these current products, because these companies, they're not just doing healthcare. They're doing so many other things.
Doing everything, right?
Right. And so we have to have trust that one company is solely focused on you and not everything else.
What's going to be your approach then? And this may be, further down the line for sure, to positioning this product and marketing that. How do you go about that?
Yeah, the current climate and the current way that we work is we build an app, right? That you go on the Play Store. I'm never in a sea of apps going to get out there, right? And not everybody's going to go to leadmycare.com. Our approach is slightly different. And without going too far into it, think of it as a try before you download the app. But what if you were everywhere that people are already at?
Yeah.
What if you were in the current places that people are at versus going find my app? Where is everybody right now? Where are they at? Where are they scouring the web? I know that I'm on social media everywhere, and I know that I message. So from my standpoint, you go where the customers are, which are ultimately our patients. So there are two separate customers, right? Your patient and then your clients that are healthcare systems, the paying clients, right?
Yeah.
So without going too far in, if you think about it, an app no longer is relevant. Chat GPT didn't go to an app first.
No. So interesting. It'd be really interesting to see your journey over the next year or so when you actually come out of beta and whatnot. But immediately then, what is next? What's anything exciting that you can share with our listeners?
What is next is this is just a piece of a bigger puzzle. And so for us, without going too far in, imagine one place for all your healthcare needs. Imagine if you could get everything. And I have thought about this prior to this company, probably about 9 years. So I feel that I'm ahead of the game when it comes to, I've thought this out, and everywhere I thought technology would be in 2014 is here.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. And so for me, I think the possibilities are endless. I have many use cases. And I think it'll be interesting to see what our healthcare systems and our clients want first out of the use cases. And that's going to guide us what's going to go on in the future. So, what are your biggest barriers in healthcare and how can we solve them? And it's hard to understand through just a healthcare chat assistant, whatever people want to refer to as. I prefer a health assistant, but it's a start of something big, I believe. And
yes. So interesting as well, because I'm based in the UK, and the UK shares similar healthcare challenges to the US in terms of understaffed, overworked healthcare professionals. And it's where can something like this reduce that burden?
Right. And we're doing it all wrong in the healthcare system with AI, I believe. We are so focused on helping doctors be more efficient and nurses be more efficient. And that's absolutely true. But if you make a patient educated and you guide the patient to the care, the byproduct is that efficiency. So we are on one side of the AI spectrum at a high risk for making errors in medicine. And the lowest risk that I believe, or the first start, is always with the patient directly. If that doesn't make any sense, think about a doctor's note being made or decisions being made. That's huge. But the lowest risk would be educating patients, but letting them know that make sure that you talk to your doctor. So we're educating you and arming you with information. But, doing all things on the doctor and nurse side has proven time and time again, as I've seen in technology, that causes a barrier. Technology has been a burden, not a help on providers.
Yeah.
And proof is in the pudding when it comes to the implementation of technology on the provider side.
Yeah, for sure. And so it kind of leads on to my last question. Your overall thoughts on the healthcare system and in the US, what needs to be done more at perhaps a macro level? Is enough being done? Are you seeing the change that you, as an ex-professional nurse, practicing nurse, are you seeing that you would expect when you were still practicing? Are you seeing that happen?
No. Healthcare costs keep rising. People can't afford it. And what I've learned in my interviews, it goes from everything on getting an appointment to not having access to healthcare from a financial means. So health inequity is defined by the unequal distribution of healthcare based on social determinants, right? But what we found is health inequity is different for every person. There is no equality in healthcare in the US, period. And the affordability is not there. And we are trying to provide a technology that is affordable. And what I've found is I find it interesting that it costs so much for technology. And do you think that the healthcare system is paying for that? Or do you think you're paying for it as a patient?
Right, yeah, exactly.
We cannot be spending billions of dollars on technology and think in any means that we're going to provide affordable healthcare, because you got to pay the bills. And if you don't have money coming in, you're not paying the bills, right? So from my standpoint, I think that that is a major cause in our increase in prices, and I don't think anyone's talking about that.
And I don't think it's just a problem that's exclusive to the US either. You know, in the UK, we've got all sorts of strikes going on at the moment: midwives, nurses, junior doctors, all sorts of companies trying to tackle those problems, but in a very similar way to the US. You know, there's challenges that come with that as well. Aaron, it's been great
Absolutely.
speaking to you.
Hey, thanks, Lee. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for your time. Guys, this has been Aaron Litherland, founder of health tech startup Lead My Care. Aaron, thanks again.
Thanks, Lee.